I'm RB, the host of RB's Kitchen Talk, and thanks for dropping in to be with us. Our topic is bold, beautiful, and a little bougie. And my guests are Shelby Cheney and Phyllis Allen. Thank you so much for being with me. To
Thank
talk
you
about,
for having us.
you
Yes, thanks
are
for having
welcome.
us.
Yeah. I'm excited about the topic because, women of a certain age have earned some names, some labels, right?
Mhm.
Some really wonderful accolades because of what we've gone through, some of the stories that we have, some experiences, and I think that far too often we don't esteem others as much as we should, or even think about how much we have accomplished, and talk about it. And I was saying earlier that sometimes, as Christians, we think that it's not good to talk about ourselves and what we've accomplished and what we've done, and every now and then it's a good thing to be able to do that because we have been so blessed, and we ought to be able to tell it and to share it. And so my hope today is that we are able to do that, and in the process be a blessing to those who might listen to us. So I'm so happy that you're here, and I just wanted to ask, what's going on? What's cooking in your life? Anything new, exciting?
Well, there's nothing really that new in my life right now.
Hmm.
When I recently moved to Georgia
Hmm.
2 years ago, and I downsized from my home in New Jersey, so I figured I was going to get a smaller home. It's not really small, it's about 2,500 square feet, but I just only vision myself living here. And right now I am entertaining, an additional 5 people in my home, which I don't mind. It's joyous, and my granddaughter just had a baby. So also, watching her, sometimes during the day. So there isn't really much going on, but it's exciting, to just be in the midst of all of this. When I was here sitting here alone going, oh, okay, talking to this one, talking to that one. Now I'm talking to everyone that's in my own unit.
At
So,
the same time, well, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, to transition from New Jersey to Georgia in such a short period of time, and to have so much have happened
yeah.
during those 2 years. So, what about you, Shelby? What's going on?
I did a different type of transition. I'm back in New Jersey from Georgia
Reverse.
in my home, but I'm doing some remodeling. I just was telling somebody the other day I wanted to fixing my own patio, like changing my patio light outside.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I'm, trying to put my big girl pants on and start doing some home DIY things.
nothing wrong with that at all, at all. And it saves you a lot of money,
Yeah,
right?
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
And,
yeah.
and Phyllis, I know you're a DIY woman as well. I know that.
Yes. Yes, I recently redid my patio, and I, did an epoxy and the sprinkles and the whole thing out there. So, yes, different DIY. Also, while I have been here, I don't think any of you knew that I became a doctor.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, well, I was, it started when I was in New Jersey, but I
Uh,
just got my doctorate degree,
oh,
and it was quite interesting and very stressful at the same
I
time.
bet. I
So
bet.
while down here, I just was working and doing school and, just doing a lot of things. So yeah,
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, and I always say, as long as there is breath in your body,
Yeah.
there is there's nothing you cannot accomplish if you really want to. Am I right? All right, so
exactly.
let's dig right into it. Let me ask you, when did you first realize that you were bold? That you had the courage, to run after, to pursue um, whatever it was you did. Was it a turning point in your life? Was it something that someone other than yourself needed, and you found yourself moving in that direction? What was it that said, you know what, I'm courageous. I can take a risk. I am bold. I don't have to sit back and just wait for something to happen. Was there an event? Something happened. What was it?
I think for me, I think I've always, if I wanted something, I just kind of always went after it.
Hmm.
I think my personality, if I want it, I'm gonna figure out how to do it, and I'm just gonna go after it and achieve it.
Hmm.
Um, I think the most recently though, well, I could say with just doing cosmetology, that for me, I was actually a little nervous to do.
Hmm.
Um, but I think after the unfortunate passing of my husband, when I came back to New Jersey, I think that kind of like pushed me into like trying something new because I had been in healthcare for so long.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, I've always, I feel like I've always had, a personality that when I want to do something, I'll do it.
Okay.
But yeah,
So you were able to see the fear, in front of you, but move past it because it was something you really wanted.
yes, yes.
Okay. All
It's
right.
like walking in your fear.
Okay.
You have to, there are many times that I have wanted to accomplish something and I was literally afraid.
Hmm.
But I find out that if I am to accomplish anything, I got to walk in it. And when I walk in the fear, I find out that I can accomplish much, much more because I take the fear and basically table it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
say, I gotta do this. This
Yeah.
is for me. This
Yeah.
is what I want, you know, and you just do it afraid.
I like that. I like that. So it's not like, there's no fear. So boldness doesn't mean there isn't any fear at all. It's like,
Exactly.
but you see it, but there's something that's inside of you, or there's something that you want that says, I'm not going to allow it to
Right.
restrain me, to keep me uh, from getting the degree,
Yeah.
Right.
that doctor. And I'm sure, because there's a lot of competing interests, right? But
Yes.
you said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to
I
prioritize.
had to I had to prove to myself that I could do it.
Mm,
You
Good.
know, it was something that I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And so I had to prove to myself and that, and being bold is basically just having that confidence in yourself that this is what you can do.
mhm,
And was it tough? Yes. Was it exhausting? Yes. Did I cry? Yes. I mean, because of the stress of it all. But I knew that I had to continue to push myself to get to where I wanted to go. I
mhm.
couldn't say I quit. I didn't want that. I didn't want that to be a part of who I am. So, yes, you have to do it afraid.
Do it afraid. I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
yes.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something, Shelby.
Oh no, I was just saying yes, yes. Do it afraid. Do it scared. Do it anyway.
Right?
Because what's the alternative if
Right.
you don't, right? The
Mhm.
list starts adding up of all of the things you should have done or you could have done,
Mhm.
right? And you don't want to be in that situation.
Right.
So
Right.
it's the only alternative,
Right.
because no one wants to live in regret. And women of a certain age, anyone that's 50 and over, I mean, you have less time in front of you than behind, right? And
Yeah.
so if you're going to do it, you got to do it afraid. I like that. Let
Mhm.
me ask you something. So the Proverbs 31, we all know that proverb, and that talks about the woman um, who's great in her house and who's called blessed. So if we were to look at that chapter in a modern day glow up, what do you think your verse would say?
Mm.
Yeah. So let me get your wheels turning. I thought, well, she protects her peace like property,
Mhm.
no trespassing without purpose. So you can't just come up in my space
Mhm.
unless there's a reason for it. So that
Yeah.
would be that would be my verse. I'm going to protect my peace at all costs, because that's how.
You have to, like you say, you have to
Yeah.
protect your peace. You have to, because
What do you think yours would be? What would your verse?
what mine would be,
Yes.
really my sanity. Because I cannot let anyone come in and just destroy who I am. And I know that yours is peace, but I can also have peace as well.
Mhm.
You know, I can also be a person where, you know, I know my value. I know what I bring to the table. I
Mhm.
am unapologetically, you know,
Mhm.
that way. So
Good.
therefore, I'm self assured with who I am.
Mhm.
So therefore, I'm not going to tolerate inconsistencies. I'm not going to tolerate, you know, certain things. So therefore, I'm not going to allow you to come into my space and
Mhm.
disrupt that.
Right. That's good. Because you worked too hard.
You work too hard for it,
Yeah.
and and you deserve the respect. It's not to say that you're arrogant, or anything like that, because it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just that you've put too much work into where you want to be after becoming that woman of a certain age,
Yeah.
you know, and you don't want anyone to come in and take that away from you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
What would your verse be, Shelby? What do you think?
I have to kind of piggyback off of just my peace. Like I feel like I've just gotten to a point and place where right now my peace is what keeps me. I don't
Mhm.
want anything coming in and interrupting or making me feel like I have to do all this jumping through hoops, and like I just, if it doesn't elevate me, if it doesn't, what's the word I'm trying to say?
Bring satisfaction,
Yes, if it doesn't
fulfillment.
bring satisfaction, then it's just like I can't do it. If it's caused me anxiety, or or I'm just feeling like, oh, like uncertain or anything like that, I'm like, no, I can't do it. I
And
can't do
But
go ahead. Yeah.
when we are a little younger, we tolerate a lot more.
it. Hmm.
We really do tolerate a lot more things, half effort relationships, friendships that are just overwatered. In other words, not there. We tend to tolerate a lot more. But when you're that woman of a certain age, um, you can't. You just can't. You know what your accomplishments are. You know what you've accomplished in life.
Hmm.
And you know who you really are. So peace is very valuable,
Yeah.
you know, and affection is very valuable as well.
Mhm.
So you really and truly don't want anyone taking anything away from you.
That's
Hmm.
right. That's right. Because you've worked so hard and so hard for it. And you mentioned that women in particular, and when we were younger, and just because we are a woman, we have that nurturing mindset.
Hmm.
We want to give all that we have to those we love, and we forget about the needs that we have. And so when you get to a point where you said, you know what, now it's about me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
I mean, that is a joyous occasion. I mean, it's worth celebrating when you can uh, part away or parse away that part of you, right? That was
Hmm.
always giving and become selfish.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
that is a
Right.
major accomplishment, you
Yeah.
know.
So in other words, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
It's who
Tell
I
Choosing
me.
am.
yourself. Choosing yourself. Like
That's right.
I choose me over any chaos and over any,
Yes.
dysfunction. I just choose me. I'm going to do what makes me happy and what makes me feel comfortable, and not feeling that I have to be uncomfortable for somebody else.
Yes, that speaks volumes because
Mhm.
we're always trying to make sure everyone else, right,
Mhm.
is doing well.
Mhm.
Excellent. But here's the thing, too. Some people see the word bold or boldness, and they interpret that as being crude. or vulgar, inappropriate. But that's not what boldness means.
Mm-mm.
What do you say to that? What do you say to people that feel, well, I'm going to just tell you what's on my mind because I'm bold? I mean, that's really not what we're saying here, right?
No, boldness, you can be very confident in who you are, you know. Uh, you can command respect, but you can still do that with being tenderhearted, you know, with people. You know, there's a scripture that talks about humility and mercy and kindness and gentleness and patience. And when you're bold, you can be bold within who you are without being arrogant or without being you know
Disrespectful. Yeah.
Right.
disrespectful. Yes,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. And I think that's the difference. And, some people feel that, I'm being bold by just kind of telling you what's on my mind.
no.
But yeah, yeah, good, good. All right. So now let me ask you a question. What kind of bold are you? I'm going to give you a few examples. I said what I said, kind of bold. You walk in the room like God sent me, bold. Or you're a soft life, but don't try me, bold.
Hmm.
that's that's something to think about.
Let me give it,
I would desire to be soft, but God sent me where I'm going to show the love of God, but I'm gonna still get my point across in a
Exactly.
loving, soft way
okay.
without, feeling like I'm coming at you. And I feel like you can still be bold and still
Be
um,
soft.
soft, and talk in a calm tone, but
Yes.
Okay.
direct. But I'm also giving you. I said what I said, and don't try me too. All in
Okay.
this, but in a godly way.
Right. All right. So you kind of like putting them all
Put
together.
them all together,
Please,
right?
I would
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna strive to do that because I still want to be loving like the Lord,
Mhm.
Yes.
but I also want to let you know that I said what I said, and in love, of course, in
Okay.
love.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But
I like that. I like that. Phyllis, are you like saying I agree with
I can understand what she's saying, that, I would like to walk in the room with softness, um, but not to compromise who I am,
how do
to
how you do that? How
not
you
shrinking. I don't want to shrink back, of who I am,
right,
that I can have that softness, but I'm not going to compromise who I am, and I'm
right,
not going to shrink back,
okay.
but I'm going to be nice.
right,
Okay. All right.
right.
Okay.
Just
There's a little bit of finessing going on with this, right?
Yeah,
And I think it depends on who it is that we're with or who's
exactly.
I mean, do you agree? Yeah, because if you're in a room, all right, suppose you're in a room filled with men, and you have a bit of a few women. I mean, you might have to walk in that room like God sent you, right?
Oh, yes.
You
Yes.
might have to do that,
Yeah.
right? Because if you don't, um, people might. Well, let me ask you that question. Sometimes when you're soft, people have a tendency to think you're weak and that they can take advantage of you,
But
right?
you can have a soft presence, but a steady voice,
mm-hmm,
which
Oh,
gives
yeah.
you strength and power.
mm-hmm.
All right. So it's in the tone, it's in the voice.
Right. And
Okay.
it's also in the way you present yourself.
Yourself, yes, I
Okay.
agree.
The posture, okay. All right. So it's like a whole combination of how do we get to that place? Is it only for those who have been through, some experiences? How do you get to that place where you can finesse a room?
Um, I wouldn't say. I mean, I think anybody could. If you go for me, I feel like if you go back to where you're first putting God first, I feel like you can be all of those things and not compromise and still get your point across in any room. because you still want to be calm, you want to be patient, you want to be, attentive and listening to what the other person is saying.
Mhm.
um or whatever could be going on, but I feel like you can still do all of that. I don't think maybe you have to go through some things to just still get your point across. I
Okay.
mean, I don't think so. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I feel like you can do all of that,
Okay. All right. I don't doubt that at all. Um,
especially at our age. I mean, if maybe
You
someone
learn a lot
younger
of
may
things on the way.
not, huh?
You learn a lot of things on the way, as
Right,
from a young person, you begin
right,
to learn and build and study,
right,
and you learn how to behave, and just certain things that you're just going to learn along the way.
right,
I
right,
I don't know whether I could have seen myself doing this at 20.
right.
you know um like I just learned so much as I grew, as I aged. I began to study, I began to pick up things, I began to learn things. And so it's just something that you learn along the way through life, because life will teach you a lot of things that you never ever thought that you would ever learn.
I'm with you right there. You
Yeah.
know what else I was thinking too? Is that when you become a woman of a certain age, you care less about who likes you and who does not. Right? Which is
Think-
what, which, and it does give you a certain attitude. It
Yeah.
when you're young, you
You,
want to be liked by everybody. You want,
mhm.
but the older you get, you realize that it ain't worth it.
Listen, I
There's
just
this.
turned 50 last month, and that was one of the things that several people told me. Once you turn 50, you just don't care.
Yeah.
Caring is just like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
don't care.
yeah,
There's a saying I always say: I'm still going to eat breakfast in the morning. So I mean, like, you
yes,
know,
Right.
yes,
who
yes.
cares?
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about favor. And when you realize that if you have the favor of God, that there's a lot of other stuff you don't need,
Mhm.
it makes a huge difference. It makes a difference. So that's good. That's good. All right, let's shift a little bit to uh and I gotta ask this question. Before we shift, I gotta ask this. If there was a scent, a perfume scent, okay, what would yours be? And then I want to know what it would be called. What would that perfume be called?
Oh God.
I have to ask that.
Perfume.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So what would the scent, what would be in that perfume that would describe you, and what would it be called?
Okay. It would not be loud,
It would not be loud. Okay.
and it would not be obvious.
Okay.
And it will be a kind of a scent that when you walk into a room, that scent walks in before you. So
Okay.
it would be an elegant type of scent.
Uh-huh.
And the one that I really and truly like is by Ferragamo Amor.
Okay. All
And
right. Ferragamo.
Amor.
Oh,
AMO Amor.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
that
it's
would be,
uh, you
it
liking
would
it.
be something that would survive.
Something.
When you think about it, it's a scent that will always survive, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
Um, it reminds me a lot of daylilies and dandelions because they are known to tolerate drought and poor soil, and they could thrive in any environment.
Okay.
And I think that regardless of the soil that I'm planted in, I'm going to survive, and I'm going to thrive.
Oh, that's awesome. That's nice. That's real nice. Okay. What about you, Shelby?
Well, I'm gonna try. I wrote some notes down for this question,
Okay. All right.
but mine was like a amber scent because it doesn't just rush, it doesn't shout, it just arrives with quiet certainty.
Okay.
Um,
Love it.
It says, I mean, it's not loud. It's a soft scent. Bergamot, which is another scent, is bright, grounded, the spark of your intelligence and your clarity. Um, then sandalwood was another scent that I love.
Pretty
It's
simple.
warm, steady type of scent, and then a touch of leather, not harsh, but supple like strength that has been lived in.
Mhm.
Um, vanilla beans, not sweet, but kind of the kind that speaks comfort, allure, and a sense of home within. Um, and then it's a soft scent that just radiates.
Mhm.
Um, and my scent was it's a scent that will be remembered even after I walked away from people.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
the name of it would be uh, Sovereign Soft.
Sovereign soft. Okay.
Yes.
So how does that, so elaborate a little bit. Sovereign soft.
So, a woman who leads her life with strength and a woman who lets her heart stay open. Um, and it's just like a strength that whispers and a power that warms.
Okay. All right. So even though you're describing yourself as gentle, you are still and warm. It's a presence that lasts. That's
Yeah.
not easily forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah. That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Do you have a name for the perfume or oh you said it was Sovereign Soft, so that is it.
Sovereign.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
I don't
awesome.
have an actual, I mean, I don't have like an actual perfume because I
No.
wear several different scents,
Uh-huh.
um, perfumes, but yeah.
Okay. All
That's what
right.
I would if I created my own scent, that's what it be. What would it
Nice.
be?
Very nice. When did you wake up and say, girl, you know you got it going on. You are something else. When did that happen? You just good looking. You're just beautiful. When did that happen? I mean, was it, or maybe somebody told you, or you just looked in the mirror and said, "Girl, you know, ain't nobody got to tell you." When did that happen?
Hmm.
When you say when did that happen,
Yeah, when did it
is
happen?
it like one day you woke up, you were 30 years old, and you said, "Girl,"
I
is
don't
that the
know. Is that
question?
what happened for you? I don't know. Maybe. Or did you just always know?
I I always knew.
All right. Ain't
I
nothing wrong with that.
always knew, although there are times when you don't feel like it, but I knew, and I would get in the mirror and say to myself, you
Mm,
know, because if you don't say
Who else will?
it,
that's right.
Who else
That's
will?
right.
that you're
Yes,
beautiful, you look good,
that's
take,
right.
take care of yourself. So
You
yes.
know, I agree with you, Shelby. Did that happen for you, or you just knew? You
I
just
mean,
knew.
I feel like I feel like I always knew. Well, I'll say in my 20s. I just felt like in my 20s, I just always knew I was cute, felt I was cute. Nobody could tell me that I wasn't cute. But again, even to
I
what at times don't like she said, sometimes you don't feel it, but I think I felt like I am cute. Um as I've gotten older,
Uh-huh.
I even, it's grown even the more. Like, yes, you are. You step more into it. Like, yes, I am cute. Because, like she said, if you don't tell yourself that, who else is going to tell you? When I get up every day, like for example, sometimes when I go to work, not that I put on this whole beat face, but I come in and I have my makeup on, and somebody's like, "Oh, you just so, you look so pretty today," and I'm like, "Thank you," and I'm like. I think my motto now is if I look good, it makes me feel even better. If it's just like when they say when you go to the gym. If you go to the gym with a t-shirt and sweatpants on, you may not feel like you really want to be your best at working out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put you a good workout outfit on, then
Right.
it's gonna make you like, okay, I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna go do my workout and different things like that.
Exactly.
So I
I'm
feel
with
like,
you.
if you look good, you take the time out and make yourself look good, you're gonna feel good.
Right. Right.
I definitely agree with you there, Chevy. I really, really agree with you because I tell people, I said, a lot of times I don't leave the house, because, I used to work from home and whatever. But when I get up in the morning, and I get myself together, I don't leave the house or go, even in the house without eye makeup on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, this is every day. I
Okay.
get up and I make sure that my eye makeup is on. If I don't put on any rouge or no foundation, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. My eyes must be done,
Hmm.
you know. And it seems kind of silly to some people, but to me,
It's
it it makes a difference. It just makes me
Hmm.
feel much better. I don't know,
Hmm.
but
yeah. And
I
it's
used to have a friend, not to cut you off, Ron, I'm sorry.
okay.
When I was younger, and I would say like when I was in my 20s, we could be running to the grocery store, and I'd be like, "Wait, I need to put some lipstick on, or some, or something." And she'd be like, "Girl, we just going to the supermarket," and I'd be like, "Girl, I don't care. I need to just put on, my lipstick or whatever it is. I just need to make sure I'm presentable. Like you
amen.
just never know. Like you just,
You
Don't.
never know.
want to look,
You don't.
presentable,
You
You're
don't
right.
know. And listen, you don't know who you might see.
right?"
That's right.
And that time you don't have it on, that's when you run into some
And you're going like, oh Lord.
right.
That's right.
But
You
I'm
got to
still
make sure
cute,
you.
even though I have my makeup on, but I'm still cute though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I'm gonna just go tell you this. Some mornings when I get up, I don't know, but just give me a minute, right? And I'll pull it
Then
all.
you'll figure it out.
Yes. And I think as I've gotten older, yes, sometimes occasionally I will have a day where, I might be like, it's a struggle day for me. And I'm not putting on the makeup, but I still feel cute. I'm just
Yes,
not at my maximum capacity of
yes.
cute.
That, I
You
got you.
got certain levels.
Right.
There are levels. All right, here we go. If your attitude now, uh, so you didn't mention the way you walk though, and for me, it's like I walk like how I feel. So if I feel like I'm good, you see it in my walk. So if I know I'm looking really good, you're gonna see it in the way I walk.
Okay.
It's an attitude. So if your attitude was a dish, would it be spicy? Would it be sweet? Or would it be straight up smoke?
Oh, whoa. Well,
Um,
I
Your
can't
attitude,
mix the flavors.
sweet, spicy, or straight up smoke?
That's in our walk.
In your attitude, your just your whole attitude. Or if you were a dish, would you be serving up sweet, spicy, or smoke?
Sweet and spicy.
Sweet and spicy at the same.
yeah. Stop.
Okay, Shelby, you with that too? Sweet and spicy.
Yeah,
I,
maybe I'll do sweet with a little bit of spice.
I had a friend once called me, my nickname was Sweet Evil. And so,
Oh, sweet evil. Okay, that wasn't on the list, but I got. Yeah, I got you.
so I wasn't sweet, I wasn't evil, but I was a combination of sweet and
Combination of
evil.
the two. Okay, catch me on whatever day. Okay,
Whatever day it is, yes.
whatever day. All right. Go ahead. You were going to say something? No. Okay.
No,
No,
just
no.
call.
All right. Here we go. Here, listen to this one. Would you say you're more silk and gold or diamonds and pearls? And why? Silk and gold or diamonds and pearls?
Although I like diamonds, I'm more of a silk and gold person.
Okay.
I like the feel of silk
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
on my body.
Okay.
You know, matter of fact, I just ordered two more pair of silk pajamas.
Did you?
I
So you
just like the way
like,
that I look in them. I like the way they make me feel.
uh-huh.
It makes me feel sexy, and that's yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I
I
love
just
it. I
ordered them.
love it. So you all right, Shelby, what you got going on? You got silky
I
gold,
don't know.
diamonds and pearls.
Um, I don't know. I'm not really, and maybe I'm thinking overthinking it. I'm probably am.
Yeah,
Um,
might be. Just throw it out there. Or make up your own. Make up your own.
oh Lord. I'll say maybe it. I might be a silk and gold. You said
Silk and gold. Uh-huh.
silk and gold. Maybe I'm more of a silk and gold. Something a little bit more just calm. I feel like diamonds and pearls is just like um I don't want to say expensive. That's not the word I want to use.
Mhm. Too
I don't
luxurious. You
too
don't.
luxurious. Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
I'm more of like a low key, you know,
Hmm.
simpler.
Okay.
So I feel like the silk and gold would be more me,
Okay.
I guess.
All right. Just nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at
Yeah.
all.
Right.
All right. Now here, get ready for this one. Okay.
Jeez.
All right. We're talking about being bougie now, right?
Mhm.
So which would be your love language? Skincare, restocks, first class flights, quiet weekends, or stock in Coca-Cola?
What was the weekend one?
Quiet weekends.
Give me a quiet weekend.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I like flights, but I like a quiet weekend home in my house.
Okay. All right.
I like quiet weekends. However,
Uh-huh.
I don't book a trip unless I'm going first class. I'm sorry.
See, that's why I knew you had to be here. Oh, the love is so
Honestly, well, I was,
strong.
like I'm living in New Jersey and I'm constantly commuting back and forth, to Atlanta here with my children. I have to come first class. I'm not. And so even with my granddaughter, when she used to travel with me, we would book first class. And it was so funny one day that, just as you're getting ready to board, they let the first class passengers on first.
Mhm.
And my granddaughter stood up and she was only about 7 at the time. And the lady said, "But we're getting first class." And she says, "We are first class."
She
And
got
then when she got on the plane, she said she didn't even think that we were first class.
see, that's a
But no,
problem. That's a problem right
Right.
there. So,
no,
see, that's what I'm talking about. There's certain things that you just got to have. You just got to do.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So here, all right, let's switch a little bit. We're gonna talk about ketchup. So you got Heinz and you got Hunt's, right?
Mhm.
And some people can tell the difference. I personally cannot.
Yes,
Uh,
you can.
I okay, all right. And so I would always buy Heinz, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden I don't know where I was. I bought Hunt's, but anyway, some people can tell the difference, others can't. Uh,
Mhm.
why do you think so many women confuse attention with affection?
Um,
They don't understand that there's a difference. And why do you think that is?
um, I feel like attention is something that is quick. Like, oh, like somebody giving you a compliment. Oh, some men just don't know how to give really good compliments. But for some women, that might be something that's flattering to them,
Mhm.
for attention, because they don't know what affection is. Where affection is like, if somebody's showing you affection, affection is going to take a lot more time to get to be affectionate with somebody. Like, you're not just going to get wooed over somebody quickly with them when they just giving you like small talk attention, compared to if they're showing you and they're backing up everything that they're saying by showing you different affection, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so affection is takes more time, more effort.
Yes.
Affection and attention is just, something that people just get used to saying.
Right.
They may know someone likes to hear.
Right.
Okay, okay. What do you think, Phyllis?
Well, I just want to say one thing first, that it is important for us to know that attention and affection can be misinterpreted.
Hmm.
And it's not just a woman thing, it's a man thing. But we're talking about women today.
Yeah.
So, attention is very rewarding. It is quick.
Mhm,
It's a signal that someone is interested in you. Uh, it's pretentious, and
mhm,
it gives you validation,
mhm,
you know. But the bottom line is that it's a flattering and intimidating thing to get attention. It makes you feel good, and
mhm,
it's a quick kind of a thing.
Hmm.
But when a person is giving you attention and you say no, you don't want to be bothered,
mhm,
that is cut off immediately, you know?
mhm.
So you'll know right then and there, that it was just the attention for them to try and get what they want from you.
Right.
Okay. But when you're affectionate, it's soft, it's genuine, it's predictable, it's steady, it's secure,
Mhm,
it's everything that you require, even respect.
mhm,
So if a person who is genuinely affectionate toward you,
Hmm.
and a situation comes up where there is no is the answer, that person tends to try and figure out, okay, how can we work around this? How
mhm.
can we work together? How
Right.
can we figure this out? You
Mhm,
know?
mhm.
Whereas if a person is just there for the attention to what they've gone, they're often gone and running away. They're
Right.
not going to have anything to do with you. So that's the bottom line for me,
Yeah.
is that one is genuine and one isn't.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, people know how to say things, what to say to get someone to
Gaslight you.
feel. Yeah. I mean, they probably have, if we're talking a male or female, that they probably have at least half a dozen lines, that they know will make a woman feel good,
Mhm.
But and they're doing it for an ulterior motive, right? There's a reason behind it. It has nothing to do with that person, with the value that person has, their worth. It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
It has only to do with what they want. But affection,
Right.
I agree with you, is much different. Much
Yeah.
different. What would happen if a good-looking man came up on you, right, to approach you? All right. What would he find? Would he find someone that is um, going to be flattered, or someone who is going to just say, it doesn't matter. What you're saying doesn't matter. What would they find based upon the person that you are? What would your response?
In the sense that he is,
He's a
this good
good-looking
looking man is trying to
He's
uh,
approaching you.
approaching.
Hmm.
I would like to think that he would find several things about me.
Hmm.
Um, Not only am I beautiful, but
Hmm.
I would like to think that he would find a strong woman,
Hmm.
a soft woman,
Hmm.
a self secured woman
Hmm.
within who I am,
Hmm.
you know. And if I'm secure, I'm going to need him to be secure in who he is, because I don't want an insecure man, you know. Because if you are a secure woman, an insecure man and you are not going to work. So I need to make sure that he's secure within himself, the same as I, you
Mhm.
know. And you know, that's the initial thing that I would think that would happen. But he would find a soft woman, but yet still a powerful woman, a
Yes.
woman who's confident within herself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real good. That's real good. Shelby, what would he find?
Hmm. I think I'm trying to think. A soft woman, yes. Shy in the beginning, I guess, because you getting to know someone. Um, yeah, I'm observant, I guess. I would be very observant of him.
Okay. Somewhat
Um,
skeptical. Mhm.
not skeptical. I think I'm just an observer, period. Um, observing like how he moves, how he operates,
Mhm.
trying to discern his true intentions,
Okay.
depending on how he approaches too.
Mhm.
Um, not trying to read too much because you're just meeting, but in the same breath trying to just be aware, I guess. Um,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Just,
Okay. Okay. Very
yeah.
good. So, as a woman who knows who she is,
Mm-hmm.
a woman who's confident in who she is, and knows what she's bringing to the table, to a relationship, there's certain expectations, right? And one of those, what do you think would be the main expectation? And I think Phyllis, you've said that you need someone who's confident because you are. So someone who matches the type of person you are. Someone who is able to communicate, someone who is able to discern, someone who has a relationship with God. So you're looking for all those good things,
Mm-hmm.
right? So would you say that this individual would have to match you equally, or is it something where there's a give and a take?
I would not say that they have to match me 100%, but he definitely has to be confident within himself
Okay.
because I'm a very confident person.
Okay.
I'm not going to apologize for any of my successes.
Hmm.
I'm going to be a self assured person,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to give any um, excuses for who I am.
Hmm.
But if he is insecure, if I make $3 and he makes $2, I need for him to be secure with that
Hmm.
and not, because some men have a problem with women who makes more than they make. And so, he has to, there are just certain standards, and I'm not going to apologize for none of them.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to do that. I am who I am.
Mhm.
And I would like to think that, you know, I don't necessarily need him to be on my equal, but I also need for him to also have the confidence, be caring, you know, there's certain things that I look for,
Right.
you know,
Right.
he doesn't have to make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year like most people. Oh, he has to have this much. He has to, no,
Good.
you know,
That's good.
he
That's
does
good.
not.
He does not, and that is in itself uh, the way a woman, in my opinion, should see a relationship. And the reason I brought this up is that there are many, not only are there women who compete, right, but there are men who compete with their significant other,
Mhm.
and that shouldn't be either.
Right.
So just because you're confident in who you are doesn't mean that you have to um, make a man feel insignificant.
Right. Right.
That doesn't, and a man shouldn't feel that he's insignificant because he's with a woman who is bold and
Right.
who has certain expectations.
Right.
And I think that that is what's caused lots of issues. Men feeling that they don't match or don't equal their partner. But a woman who is bold, beautiful, and perhaps a little bougie doesn't take anything away from her need to be in a relationship. And being in a relationship means that there is that you have to be able to appreciate the person that you're with, have a lots of respect for, and share those commonalities and understand that this is a work in progress in order to make a relationship successful.
Amen. Well said.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So there's that misnomer. Just one last question before we end, and perhaps you can share with someone who may be listening a kitchen table truth. What have you learned? What have you perhaps learned the hard way? But you know it for sure, and you want to be able to share with someone um, who may be having a difficult time coming into terms with who they are. I mean, we may know who we are today, but there may be someone else who's just petering, not quite sure. So what truth have you learned that you can share with someone else about this becoming this one woman who's bold and beautiful and a little bougie? What have you learned?
I would say be yourself from the beginning. Don't be your authentic self. Don't feel like you can't be yourself.
Mhm,
I feel like I've learned that. I wish I would have been more of myself when I was younger,
mhm,
and not being afraid to be more bold, or talk more, or do different things, but be yourself. Don't feel like you have to be something or someone else because of what other people think you should be.
uh-huh. That's good. That's good. Because everyone has their own opinion of who you should be, and that opinion is based on a variety of excuse me, a variety of things. It could be their shortcomings or their regrets, and
Mhm.
and so you can't look to that, but
Right.
you can always count on yourself being authentic
Yeah,
if you're willing to do that, and that takes courage,
it does.
right?
Yeah, it does.
Well, I've learned
Hmm.
to stop chasing people um, that make you feel uncertain about yourself. You know, um, half effort relationships. You're putting in more than they are putting in.
Yeah.
And so I've learned that my peace is more valuable than any potential that's out there, and I don't want to have a relationship that I am anxious about or have anxiety about. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I have learned to be able to walk away from a situation
Hmm.
that is uncomfortable to me,
Hmm.
that does not respect me,
Hmm.
that does not hold me up with ease. Just I'm just not going to change anymore for people.
Yeah.
And I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn to walk away.
Learn
You
to-
know, it's a lot easier than you think.
Oh my goodness.
Because when you're younger, you don't think that it's that easy. You just,
Yeah.
you got all of these what if,
Yeah.
just walk away.
But you know what? You're right. You're right. But it really does depend on the mindset, because there are a lot of people who feel that if they walk away, they won't have a future. If they walk away, they may not have another chance. If they walk away, they'll be alone, or they'll be alone.
Nobody's gonna love me. Yes, you're thinking of all of those things, but at the end of the day, you waste a lot of your time talking about what if, you know, and you stayed at the party too long.
Yeah.
So just, you know, I'm not gonna chase anybody that makes me feel uncertain about myself,
Mhm.
uncertain about a relationship, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Kudos to you. That's great. And no one should,
Yeah.
because, and in closing, we've earned the label, the name, bold, beautiful, and bougie. We've earned it because of all we've gone through. And each of us have a story. And it's that story that makes us as strong and as resilient and as resolved as we are. That story is what made us who we are. And we can't go back on that story. It's cost us too much, right? It has cost us too much. Shelby, one last closing remark. What would you say?
Um, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come on and just share the little wisdom that I have on being bold, beautiful, and a little bougie.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for being with me. Phyllis?
I want to first thank you for inviting me. I was a little nervous, but I'm glad that we've gotten through that.
Yeah,
But I want the people to know that beautiful is softness without fear, and that it's a woman who has done the work,
yeah,
and we have to do the work.
yeah. Right. You're right. And I just want to tag on that. So often we talk about our partners doing the work, and we forget that we too have to do the work. It's both doing the work that it takes, because we've both have gone through some things that may have left some scars or what have you. So if two people do the work together, there isn't anything they can accomplish. They
Amen.
can't accomplish. They can't
Amen.
accomplish. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I have so much inside of me that I wish we had time for, but for another time. But thank
Right.
you so very much for being with
God
me,
bless you.
sharing as much as you have. All right.
God
We'll talk
bless you.
soon. Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Good night.